There is an island on this planet that looks so otherworldly, scientists actually had to confirm it was real. No CGI, no filters, no tricks. This is a real place on the same Earth you're standing on right now, and almost nobody knows it exists. Welcome to Socotra Island, a tiny speck of land floating in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Yemen. It's been so completely cut off from the rest of the world for millions of years that 37% of its plant species exist nowhere else on the entire planet. Not in a rainforest, not in a lab, nowhere, only here. It's been called the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean, but honestly, that undersells it. The first thing that hits you are the dragon blood trees. And yes, that is their real name. They look like someone flipped an umbrella inside out and planted it in the ground. The canopy spreads perfectly flat at the top, designed by millions of years of evolution to catch every drop of coastal fog and funnel it straight down to the roots below. But the name doesn't come from the shape. It comes from what's inside. Cut the bark and a deep, vivid red resin bleeds out, called dragon's blood. For 3,000 years, it was one of the most valuable trade goods in the ancient world. Romans used it as dye. Medieval alchemists searched for it. Stradivarius used it to varnish his violins. And right now, on this island, those trees are still bleeding the same red. Socotra sits at the mouth of the Gulf of Aden, between Yemen and Somalia. For 3 months every year, June through September, violent monsoon winds seal it off almost completely. No boats, no planes, nothing in or out. For millions of years, that isolation wasn't a flaw, it was the entire point. Evolution ran its own private experiment here for 6 million years without interruption. The result is an island that looks like it belongs in a science fiction novel written by someone who had never seen Earth. The dragon blood tree isn't even the strangest thing here. There's the desert rose, officially called the adenium, which looks like someone buried a giant vegetable and let sticks grow out of the top. It stores water in its swollen trunk to survive the brutal dry season, and then bursts into vivid pink flowers. There's the cucumber tree, yes, a tree that grows cucumbers, the only species of its kind on the planet. There's the frankincense tree, clinging to sheer limestone cliffs, still producing the same resin that burned in Egyptian temples 5,000 years ago. About 825 plant species live on this island. 307 of them exist nowhere else on Earth. This is what happens when nature is left completely, totally alone. And Socotra is not just alien on land. The waters are some of the richest in the Arabian Sea. Turquoise bays and white sand beaches that have never seen a hotel. Coral reefs with species found nowhere else. Dolphins following wooden fishing boats that use the same techniques as Bronze Age fishermen. The 60,000 people who live here speak Socotri, a language so ancient and so isolated that for most of its history it had no written form at all. Passed from generation to generation by voice alone for thousands of years. But here's the part nobody talks about. Socotra is changing fast. In 2018, 2 cyclones, Makunu and Luban, hit the island back to back. They were the first tropical cyclones ever recorded to make landfall on Socotra in modern history. They knocked down hundreds of dragon blood trees that had stood for 3 centuries. The same monsoon isolation that protected this island for millions of years is now being disrupted by shifting climate patterns. Scientists warn that the ecosystem as it exists today could be unrecognizable within 50 years. There are fewer than 100 places on Earth that have resisted modernity this completely. Socotra is one of them. And the next time someone tells you the world has been fully explored, fully mapped, fully understood, remember this island, looking exactly like this, right now, on the same planet you're sitting on. If you want to see more places that shouldn't exist, hit subscribe. We've got plenty more.